Welcome to Incredible, where we discover the weird and wonderful in this world. Now you've heard of Mensa, the Society for Intelligent People, but even some of Mensa's best can't perform the feats we're about to see, some which suggest that these individuals have superpowered brains. Join us now as Incredible looks at 8 people with superhuman intelligence. Number 1. Playing 48 games of chess simultaneously and blindfolded. Chess is a challenging game, particularly when you battle some of the game's best. One such player is Grandmaster Timur Gariev, who in 2016 not only played the game of his life, but more specifically, the world record games of his life. Chess.com noted, throughout Saturday, December 3rd and a bit of Sunday, December 4th, Gariev played chess simultaneously against 48 participants without sight of the boards. Against 43 on-site opponents and 5 online opponents, he scored 35 wins, 7 draws, and 6 losses. Just to keep things interesting, Gariev played blindfolded and added more grit to his game by riding an exercise bike while he played. Timur is apparently a believer in physical and mental fitness. His feat entered the Guinness Book of Records, where it still stands today. Number 2. An amazing artist with a magnificent memory. There are some outstanding artists out there, but few like UK artist Stephen Wiltshire, who possesses the ability to draw entire cityscapes from memory. Stephen is autistic, and while he struggled with language development, his artistic skills were evident at a young age as he drew breathtakingly lifelike images. Eventually, Stephen's ability to memorize entire swaths of land and draw them became known. In New York, he took a 20-minute helicopter ride and then sketched everything he saw on a 19-foot-long piece of paper as viewers watched via webcam. Stephen's work has earned him incredible honors, ranging from UK's Prime Minister commissioning his first work when Stephen was only 8 years old. His first book of drawings was published when he was 13, and in 2006, he was honored as a member of the Order of the British Empire by Prince Charles. Number 3. A human calculator. Now, aren't calculators just great? Whether we use them on our phones, our computers, or kick it old school with an old-fashioned calculator, these electronics save us the trouble of taxing our brains and adding things up quickly. However, did you know that some people can do these amazing figures in their head? Known as human calculators, these people are able to perform calculations in their mind, including addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division at incredible speeds. While mental calculators aren't common, there are enough of them that a mental calculator Olympics is held every year. One such mental calculator is Yashwin Sarawanan, who came in second on the television series Asia's Got Talent by displaying his abilities to outpace a calculator. Another is Neelakanthu Banu Prakash, who won India the gold in the Mind Sport Olympiad in 2020 and holds 50 records for his mental calculations. According to Sarawanan, he possesses no special abilities. This remarkable young man claims he only practices 5 to 10 minutes of the day and sometimes doesn't train at all. Number 4. Mastering a language in 2 hours. Learning a second language can be a rewarding experience, and more people have taken up learning one thanks to the extra time afforded by the pandemic. However, it's a challenge, and according to the site The Linguist, there are 3 elements that affect how quickly a person can learn: the attitude of the learner, the time the learner spends with the language, and the learner's attentiveness to the language. Naturally, there are some languages that are more challenging to learn than others. For example, a level 1 language, which includes French, German, Indonesian, Italian, Portuguese, Romanian, Spanish, and Swahili, is considered much easier than a level 4 language, which includes Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. So how long does it take to get good enough to speak with a native speaker without much difficulty by you or the person you're chatting with? The exact number is tricky, and it's often estimated anywhere from 1,000 hours and up. That doesn't seem unreasonable when you consider the hours of study, listening, and practice. But let's take a look at these 2 cases involving 2 persons who wanted to learn to speak German, a level 1 language. The first involves Pep Guardiola, who was preparing for his job as a coach for Bayern Munich. Pep studied for 7 months with a private teacher who accompanied him 4 hours a day, so that at the end he could make his presentation in German. After 7 months, Pep was competent in German, a feat that impressed many around him. However, as impressive as that sounds, it's nothing compared to what Spain's Ramon Campeo accomplished during a 2-hour flight to Bavaria. Ramon taught himself the language in less time than it took to make the flight. However, Ramon was no ordinary language learner. He was on his way to Munich to participate in his first World Memorization Championships in 2003, where in addition to finishing first, he broke several world records for quick memory. As many memory masters will attest, people who perform these incredible feats possess no special abilities, but use specific training techniques to memorize things. Number 5. The world's fastest reader. Ever see an interesting book but put it back down because it's way too long? That wasn't a problem for the late Kim Peek, a savant whom the Rain Man character was based upon. Peek could read up to 2 pages at a time, the left page with his left eye and the right page with his right eye. Estimates of his speed vary, but 10,000 words a minute was the estimate given, which translates to roughly around 40 to 50 pages in a book. Keep in mind that Peek's brain was wired differently than ours in that he was born without a corpus callosum, the connection between 2 brain hemispheres, and it's possible that his 2 hemispheres were able to process the page he read in parallel. Giving Peek a lowball figure of 40 pages per minute, Stephen King's unabridged version of The Stand of 1,152 pages would take him 29 minutes, while Marcel Proust's 7-volume In Search of Lost Time, a light read at 4,215 pages, would require 105 minutes, a little over an hour and a half. However, don't be quick to take a speed reading course and expect similar results. Not only was Peek wired differently, but even exceptional individuals can only do so much and retain what they've read at the same time. Researcher Ronald Carver extensively studied a group of readers which consisted of champion speed readers, fast college readers, successful professionals whose job required a lot of reading, and students who had scored the highest on speed reading tests. Carver found that of his superstars, no one could read faster than 600 words per minute with more than 75% retention of information. A 20-year study of speed reading courses by Keith Rayner at the University of Massachusetts clarifies things further. Rayner has found that 95% of college-level readers test between 200 and 400 words per minute, with the average right around 300. Very few people can read faster than 400 words per minute, and any gain would likely come with an unacceptable loss of comprehension. Mr. Peek was one amazing man. No wonder they made a movie based on his super brain. Number 6. Juggling Rubik's Cubes while solving them. Juggling is a physically and vexing challenge for people, but with practice it can be mastered. Something not so easy is solving the Rubik's Cube, the 3-dimensional combination puzzle invented by Erno Rubik, which took the world by storm in the early 80s. The puzzle is extremely difficult to solve, and one estimate has it that less than 6% of the world's population can solve it. Nevertheless, the puzzle remains popular as people try to line up all 6 sides of the square's 6 colors. Now imagine someone who not only decided to try his hand at juggling and solving Rubik's Cubes, but combining them into one feat. Enter 12-year-old Qu Hyunyu, a Chinese student who decided juggling 3 Rubik's Cubes was no challenge. No, he was going to up his juggling game by solving the cubes while he juggled them. As Incredible has shown in past videos, people are capable of achieving the seemingly impossible, and that's what happened when he juggled the 3 cubes and solved them in 5 minutes and 6 seconds, setting a record for the folks at the Guinness Book of World Records. This wasn't the youngster's first Rubik's record though, as he solved a Rubik's Cube while blindfolded at the age of 7. Number 7. Super Memory. Do you enjoy memory games such as concentration or Sudoku? If so, you may want to put your mental muscles to the test in memory sport, which includes 2 major organizations, the International Association of Memory and the World Memory Sports Council. Let's take a look at the 2 records currently recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records. The first is for the longest sequence of objects memorized in 1 minute, with India's Sagar Vuchi in Hyderabad, India on 9th June 2019 matching 52 items. According to Guinness, 5 different witnesses chose 10 to 11 objects of their choice, so not even they knew what all the objects would look like all laid out. The second is the longest sequence of coins memorized, which saw Germany's Christian Schaffer memorize 250 coins. And number 8, reconstructing a business's records from memory. In today's digital age, the idea of losing business records seems next to impossible thanks to offsite backups and storage on the cloud. However, in 1838, the Royal Exchange Assurance Company didn't have these luxuries, and when the building burnt down, so did its records. Fortunately for this company, it had one Bartholomew Bidder who somehow managed to memorize every one of the company's records and reconstruct them. Those crazy kids who run the Guinness Book have Bidder enshrined amongst other memory mavens, so as sketchy as this may seem, we're counting it. Now, looking at these feats of mental mastery, there should be no doubt that the human brain remains humanity's greatest resource. Let us know what you think of these feats in our comments down below, and we'll see you next time with some more incredible videos.